Man, this episode went by so quick. I mean, next thing I knew, I'm seeing the beginning with Lawman investigating, and next thing I knew it was over. I'm like, wait, that can't be it. But oh, so much is happening still, and I can't believe so much was revealed. Even more so, like every episode, more and more stuff is about to be revealed as it's starting to not necessarily wrap up, but there's still a lot of content to go through in this second season. We're only on episode 17 of the second season, and there's still so much more to go. So much was answered that we actually got correct in a few different assumptions. The biggest thing is Shisui being no good. I knew there was something up with her. The fact that Shisui and Siren are sisters? In the episode, I realized they were sisters when the snake thing happened, and if you go back, notice that Shisui walks to the right as if in a protective mode for Siren, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, man, they're related. I was right when I said last week, like, go ahead, stab her, taking her as a hostage and trying to, put those daggers in her throat. I was like, go ahead, do it. I would have called her bluff, and I was right. If Maomao just called her bluff, she wouldn't have done it because they were sisters. I knew that Shisui was involved. I just knew it. It's like, oh, she just so happens to be there? Yeah, okay, sure. But we were correct in that, but there's still so much to reveal and so much more to know about. So anyway, let's break this episode down because there's a lot that was really nice to actually look at, especially the MVP, Laoman. Just imagine if Laoman wasn't there at the pavilion. Just imagine it. Jinshi would be lost. He would be like looking through the forest, not finding any clues. And even though he was going about, he was starting to, ask the right questions to the right people. He still was like, I don't understand. That's exactly the same thing that I was told. It wasn't until Laoman came in and asked the big hitting questions like, where's the cat? Jinshi was like, what's the cat got to do with anything? Man, Laoman over here, I just love his character. I could do a deep dive here on Laoman himself, only with the little bit of information we know about, because this episode reveals so much about the character of Laoman, and even Jinshi saw the similarities between Laoman and Maomao. Jinshi takes it a step further than Maomao, because yes, we've talked about how Maomao will be reserved, kind of looking for the answers of stuff, and then give hints and tips for the higher ups to figure out the final solution. But Laoman takes it a step further. He doesn't even talk. He gives a hypothesis, looks for the answer, and just keeps walking. Jinshi over here, if it was Maomao, he would have kind of pressed like, hey, what's going on? What we're doing? What's up with the cat? No, Jinshi just kind of follows along with Laoman. It's like, okay, apparently he has something. Laoman goes around, finds the note, and then Laoman's like, okay. And then, of course, Jinshi's like, what? What's up with the blank piece of paper? Maomao would have given a hint to kind of let Jinshi be on pace with her thinking process. Laoman's like, just keep following me, let's go. So then he has answers, but he doesn't say anything until he's actually showing the solution. So then everyone's like, oh, this is what makes Laoman go under the radar. Like he just sinks in, and now he's an older guy and all this. He makes it seem like from the outside, people wouldn't realize how intelligent he is unless you were around him. You're around him and he says the things on a slide that gets you thinking like, oh snap, this guy's thinking 3D chess here and I'm sitting here playing checkers. But oh man, just Laoman is just so good of a character that I love the fact he's around more. And honestly, if he was around all the time, I don't think the show would be as exciting as it is now. Because we're seeing the eyes of everything through Maomao figuring stuff out, Laoman would have figured stuff out as soon as someone talked with him. It's like, hey, we got a problem, this is going on. Laoman's like, okay. And then walks over and then figures stuff out and not even saying what he's thinking. Like he would be a great MC, but kind of an MC that would be boring because you were like, oh, he's, by George, he's found out in the first 5 minutes. He's a great character, and I love that he's here, and I love the fact he's back in the pavilion. But yeah, Jinshi would be lost in the sauce if Lauman was not there. For the rest of this episode, we definitely got to look into some little things here and there that were like sticklers, like, oh, okay. Like one thing, there was a lot of discussion in the last video in the comments below that you guys were talking about how I don't like the fact that Maomao made the decision to save her friend only or because of the res powder. I felt like that. It was like, I don't think she made up her mind right when they talked about the resurrection medicine. It's like, I think it was long before that that she actually came about to deciding what she was going to do to go with them. Lo and behold, that was the case. She said out her breath. It's like, yeah, it was, I didn't make my decision due to the powder. And it's like, yeah, you kind of could see it in her eyes and her face that it wasn't right when Siren had said about the powder that, oh, that was the deciding factor. It's like, no, she kind of made up her mind that she was going to save her friend. Although I wouldn't have, because I would have been right. She was involved. But anyway, the fact that we learned that Sirei was the attractive eunuch. Now that I was not expecting because yeah, I knew that the attractive eunuch is going to be a character, was going to be someone, you know, to talk about, talk to, see what's up. But none of the main characters kind of went up and talked with that character yet. So I was waiting on the moment that Maomao went up to him, Jinshi. I mean, Jinshi was pretty close the one episode with the whole ice breaking and such. He was kind of looking from afar, noticing that this eunuch had issues, you know, moving part of their body. And I was like, okay, all right. But, you know, once they start talking, that's when you start to realize some little things, but that didn't happen. But all of a sudden, now we know where Sirei was. I thought last episode that maybe she was hiding out in that, you know, back area with the old woman and such. It looks like that secret passage is what they use to kind of escape and get away, even in the first season. So more than likely what happened is Sirei left through that passage and then came back as the eunuch. The question is, Sirei was trying to coordinate everything about Jinshi being attacked or all this other stuff, or if she was coming back to extract Shisui, extract the old woman, you know, all these other little things. So did Maomao foil their plans a little bit and kind of had to escalate things to where they had to return quicker? Probably, but we won't know until we see the big, broader picture of what their plan was. And I'm looking forward to seeing what their diabolical plan entailed, because it felt like there was little things here and there that they were working on, but then all of a sudden Maomao starts figuring stuff out and it's like, extraction, get out of there, we gotta leave now, and we gotta leave with Maomao. So we'll see what happens as far as their big, bold strategy and big, bold plan, and how it encompasses both Jinshi and Maomao together. But I feel for Jinshi, he's having a rough time right now, because part of him really wants to go and find Maomao, because Maomao to him is a very important asset, you know, and very important to him to a degree. So he has to still keep up appearances though. He can't just raise the alarm bells and be like, not be himself. You gotta remember, yes, he is the crown prince, but he has to act like Jinshi the eunuch. So the crown prince in him wants to like send everyone, let's go, let's figure out what in the world's happening. We're under attack, some people are missing, what's the deal? But Jinshi the eunuch has to, you know, keep up appearances, be nice, wave to the people everywhere and be like, everything's all fine and dandy. And on top of that, concubine Gikyo, I know I crucified that name, I apologize. She's having a baby now, so he's gotta, you know, worry about that. And not to mention, the last week, our duo had to impersonate him as if she was the crown prince because he was supposed to go and do that. So he has a lot on his plate. So I feel that he is definitely being pressured by all sides. So I don't normally do this. Next week's preview definitely revealed a lot, and it looks like it's gonna be very interesting, because normally I don't, you know, I might talk about the preview for next week a little bit, but I don't necessarily deep dive it so much because I don't wanna be spoiled, but I don't know anything. I'm just speculating. So is it a spoiler when you're just watching it and trying to figure out maybe? I don't know. Maybe some people would think so. Maybe some don't. All I know is it looked like Lakin learns about Maomao missing because it showed him running around, and knowing Lakin, caring about Maomao, even though he may not show it a whole lot, yeah, he probably would be like, all right, let's figure things out, what's going on, what's happening. And the final panel showing the dog ears, that's definitely lacking, because I can see how we keep seeing the cat ears from Maomao and how funny it is in these little takes. It would be funny if showing Lakin, it shows the dog ears, like he's alert, like, okay, what's going on? We gotta find our daughter. And it also looked like the old woman, Shin Lu, was captured or arrested. I assume that Jinshi's investigation goes a little deeper and he's able to find out why Maomao was there to begin with and is able to arrest her. And maybe from her, he can figure out where they took Maomao. Because if you remember, Maomao, after the ship, was like, I thought we were heading north. And then, but everything here is human and such. And for those that might have not understood that comment, if you look at the globe, if you're in one area and you take a ship north, up north, it gets colder. So when she commented that everything was humid, it was as if they went south. So that's why she was a little confused. It's like, huh, this is a little weird. Where am I? So yeah, I'm looking forward to next week and seeing what they find out and what they conclude. But these last few episodes have accelerated the show tremendously. And it's getting good. It's getting real good. And hopefully by next week, we learn why Maomao is there in the first place. Like, what is Shisui's and Suren's plan for Maomao? What is she doing there? What is she a hostage for? Is she able to help others or something? Don't know, but we will have to see what happens next week. In the meantime, I hope you guys have enjoyed this analysis. We'll be back next week to kind of take a look at this. But if you're new here, make sure you like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe if you are already, because I love to hear about you guys and definitely hear what you have to say in the comments down below. For those that do know what happens in the future, please, no spoilers. Not even a hint of spoilers. I'm too good at this, because I will figure it out if you leave even the smallest hint. But please don't. In the meantime, you guys be safe. Take care, and Lord willing, I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.
What you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. Phenomenon.